rookies that will shine. So we're gonna name three rookies from the NBA and the NFL that we think can shine next season.
You want to go first?
Now you can go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna start this off with the NBA. We'll go NBA first, and then you can go. You can start NFL. All right.
Mm-hmm.
My top three NFL or NBA. Um, Let me look. Hold on. I had it written down. 1 second. Now, when I when I say these, I want everyone to know that these are obviously some of my favorite players, but I think they're gonna have the most impact on the team that they went to. Okay, and that's just me. Okay, you don't have to agree, but this is I love. Obviously, I'm gonna start with the most obvious one, and that's the Pelicans pick up Jeremiah Fears. Okay,
That's his favorite.
that's my favorite. All bias, I don't care. That's one that I'll give you. I'm biased with him. The reason I say this is because if you watch his tape, he spaces the floor like no one else, and that's exactly what the Pelicans need. The Pelicans need a guard. Obviously, they have DeJounte Murray, but he got injured right away, so they didn't get a chance to really show out what they have. Jeremiah Fears, even if he does come off the bench, with Jose Alvarado on the, I don't know, I don't think he got. Did he get shipped off? I forget, but
I think he's still there.
yeah, he's still there. With Jose Alvarado on the team playing, defense as a point guard, you can move him. You can move Jeremiah Fears from the 1 to 3 if you want to. Okay, I wouldn't recommend putting him at the 3 because he's a little bit shorter. But Jeremiah Fears plays like Kyrie Irving. Okay, I know people are gonna be like, "What? What? Don't compare him to Kyrie." I know. I'm not comparing him. I'm not saying that he's as good as Kyrie Irving. I'm saying he can be. The way he plays his handles, the way he splits the defenders, the way he spaces out the floor, which Zion needs. He needs a point guard that can help him do that because I'm sick of seeing Zion walk the dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him calling play. I want people calling plays for Zion because Zion, again, is one of my favorite players in the league, and he deserves to start winning more. Jeremiah Fears is the start. I think that is a great pickup. I think they had the Pelicans had the second best draft night that night. So I'm excited for that. And another one is the Trailblazers pickup. Or was it the Trailblazers pick him up or the oh yeah, okay, traded to the Trailblazers, Yang Hansen. Okay. I don't know. I was confused at the time. I was. The 7 foot Yao Ming looking dude, he looks terrifying because guess what? He came out of the crowd and people were shocked. They were like, "What's going on?" And the more tape you watch of this dude, he's like a mini Jokic, bro. I hate to say it, but he's going to be a problem if the Trailblazers decide to actually play well and try to actually do well in their franchise without Dame and get back to the playoffs. They will develop him into a Jokic type player. And I bro, if you just watch him, his post game's crazy. His pull up's kind of crazy. Like for a big dude, his pull up is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. His mid range is nice. He can shoot the three. He's a little slow, but that can be worked on. Your quickness can be worked on in the NBA, especially. You know that. Um, so that's another one. That's a guard in the big for you. And I'm just gonna give you another sleeper. Um, I'm really excited for Cam Jones. Unfortunately, the Pacers got him. This is my third one. This is outside of all the big ones like Cooper Flag and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
Cam
you
Jones,
can't say Cooper Flag.
yeah,
No.
I'm not saying all the top 5, top 4 players. I'm saying the guys that I think will stand out for their team. Cam Jones, I watched this dude play close up at Marquette, and he is nice. I really wish the Bucks just like thought about picking him up, but we had other things to worry about, which we'll get into in a little bit. I think they're in a good situation right now, considering the money that they have and the third cheapest team in the league right now, by the way. But Cam Jones on the Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton now, you can develop Cam Jones now, and when Tyrese comes back, that can be an issue because Cam Jones, as a second round pick, is a steal. I'm trying to tell everyone, Cam Jones. I don't know how to. I don't know how else to explain. You have to go watch his tape. Great passer, great mid range shooter. He's clutch. He's just an overall bucket. He needs to work on his defense a little bit. because at the NBA level, it's gonna be a little bit harder for him to, you know, shift and all that stuff. You gotta get used to it. But watching his game, I think for the Pacers, the way I just saw them play in the playoffs, fits perfectly with Cam Jones because Cam Jones can shoot. Um, he can shoot a little bit. You know, it can develop with all those shooters around him for sure. Great finisher. He's a mediocre defender, but in my opinion, I think he can pay. I think he can be better on defense. I'm not saying he's bad, but I think he can just be better. Cam Jones is going to be a sleeper pick for the Pacers. I'm really jealous that they got him, but I'm happy that we took Miles Turner from them. So that's my top three for the NBA, and I'll let you start. I'll let you go with your NBA or NFL, whichever one you choose to do.
So I'm gonna be a little biased here, with two of mine, but um, Jeremiah Fear is gonna be pretty good. But VJ Edge come.
Ooh, he's so tough, bro. I didn't want to say him because you know
Seeing
he's
him live here in Salt Lake City in Summer League, people were talking about, oh my gosh, they did a dumb move. He was gonna go 5 or 6, 7, maybe. He's not that great a talent. This kid is a problem.
he's tough, man. He's a bucket and a half.
What I was seeing on the floor, I seen him talk to S,
No,
and he was he had hit this one shot, and he looked at the sideline, started talking ish to my GM because we was playing him at the time. So he was talking ish to my GM running down the floor, like you know how they back while they running back down. He was talking ish to Danny Ainge, Will Hardy, and them that was sitting all on the side of them, talking ish. I was like, yeah, he's
look,
going to
man.
be very much. He had what 27
Uh-huh.
in his first game.
Uh-huh. It's
He
summer league
played
though.
like,
Don't overreact.
yeah,
But
it's summer league. I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But I seen some clips on TikTok too, and I seen some clips on social media and stuff. Mm,
It's tough, man.
he's gonna be a problem. Um, and why I think he's gonna be a problem is because of his athletic ability. He kind of feels like it kind of feels like he got some Anthony Edwards esque into him. Obviously, he needs to work on that shot. He needs to work on his shot. He has to work on that shot because he it was that's the only reason why he ain't shoot like 60%. He missed a lot of jumpers,
Right.
but around the rim, he was pretty much automatic. Now we all know we all have Cooper Flag, and he's going to be great and generational. And yeah, we're not picking Cooper Flag. No one's picking him. I'm gonna say Ace Bailey.
Okay. I was gonna say him, but I want to just keep it like real like down.
Uh, from where he was drafted and where he was supposed to be, it kind of looks like it's a slide. And for him to have that bad of a game, his first game, and watching him play, seeing him have that bad of a first game, he did not play well at all. He got benched in
Mm,
summer league, and he came out next game 18, 7, 3. His offensive rebounding skills is an issue because he they say he's like 6'8", but he looks like 6'10".
right.
He plays like he's 6'10", his 7-foot wingspan, and he could pull up like Dirk. He hit his first shot of the game in game two was like a turnaround jump shot, like Dirk. Turnaround, one-legged, uh, midi. And his offensive rebounding skills is what's going to probably elevate this team for him to be alongside Walker Kessler. Not saying he's going to play the four. He's not playing the four. But,
Might. Yeah, I don't got John Collins anymore.
well, we might put Lowry there. He's too slow to play the three.
That's true.
Lowry is way too slow to play the three.
You know, might
But
be 4 or 5.
until we trade him,
Yeah.
then you might get put Cam Boozer there. You get him next season. But um, yeah, he's tall. He's got a thin frame. He'll obviously put some muscles on, and um, yeah, he's gonna be a problem. He can hit the three. He can rebound. He can score at will. He can definitely take you off the dribble. Um, when they started putting the ball in his hands more, it started to look more efficient. Started to look more fluent. You know, obviously Isaiah Collier was the point guard that we're going to see, and he's going to be a point guard that's going to push the ball up. But Ace Bailey can bring the ball up at 6'8" or feel like NBA 6'10". If he could do that, it's going to be an issue.
Yep.
I was going to say Derek Queen, but
You jealous that you didn't get him as well?
I like Jace Richardson. And I can't wait to see him play. But what's his name? Walter Clayton Jr.
I wasn't too high on him, I'll be honest, but I
See,
can see why.
seeing him play in summer league, man. I mean,
Yeah, he
I'm
played
not
good.
just picking all Jazz because of all Jazz. From
Yeah.
where Walter Clayton was picked and what he did in college is why I chose him to take that elevated role. See, it's gonna be a point guard battle. It could be most definitely be a point guard battle
Mm.
between him and Collier at the beginning of the season. Obviously, they're gonna probably start Collier, but when it comes down to the midway point, who's more efficient with the team on the floor? How are they gonna look? Walter Clayton can run the offense. He can run an offense. He was running it all second unit when Collier was sitting. They didn't play Collier a lot. They played him a little bit to begin the game and a lot of bit of the second quarter. And as the third and fourth quarter came, he started fading out, and then they started sitting him a little more because obviously he's not. You don't need to see much from him. But yeah, Walter Clayton is he it just flows. He flows. He can shoot. I mean, he gets to the rack and he can find open guys even while in the air. I mean, he's poised. Very,
When
very
you guys
poised.
picked
He
him,
was the most NBA ready guard.
oh yeah, when you guys picked him, I was like, you guys had a lot of guards already. But then I've seen him play, and I'm like, okay, this
Yeah,
kid might be, you know what I'm saying? He might be like that for us. So, you can't help but be excited for somebody who's playing. I love hungry players, bro. You pick all three hungry. Well, you pick two hungry players. I don't know if Ace Bailey's hungry or not, but um, the two players you picked, um, Walter Clayton and then VJ, I think you picked, right?
hmm
Both the hungriest players I've seen so far in
and
the
that's
draft.
what's going to make you succeed.
Exactly. So those are great picks. I think I just I wasn't high on Walter Clayton. I don't know why. I just looked past him a little bit while during the draft, but I thought he was gonna be like 25 or something, but he was a little bit higher. So I'm excited to see what he does. Should be very interesting to see what you guys do to develop him to be, that guard that you just pretty much explained. He is ready. It's
Yeah, he's
just
very much ready. Him and Collier, they're ready, and it's going to be something to see because they can play together.
yeah.
Them two can play 1-2 together because Clayton is a better defender than Keontae George. So that's going to end up being okay. Um, what are we going to start Keontae, or are we going to let Keontae just stay on that 6-man role? Or well, you got a real problem here because Clayton can play defense and play the offense well. He can work off ball as well. So it's
Hmm.
like it's gonna be something to see. I can't wait to training camp, but we'll see what happens. Neat Clifford is going to be a problem. I like Jace Richardson, like I said.
Yeah.
I thought at first when I looked at this draft thing on the side right here, I thought the Thunder had drafted, and I was like, man, screw this. But it said it was traded to the Kings, so I was like, okay. I was gonna be so pissed. But yeah. So we're gonna
All right.
jump into the NFL picks now. So my
Yeah.
top three for NFL, I think obviously, man, I hate picking top guys, but obviously my number one is gonna be Travis Hunter. Um,
Great. Love it.
Travis Hunter plays both sides of the ball. I think he's gonna fit well down there in Jacksonville. He
That's his
might end
spot,
up,
bro.
and that's where he's from. Oh, he's gonna be playing like he ain't got nothing to lose.
Hmm.
Um, but I did want to say, it sucks, but Matthew Golden,
That's funny.
that kid is gonna be. I mean, his hands is.
He's tough,
I
man.
hate the Packers with a passion, but
He's so
man, he ran
good.
a 4. He ran a 4.340. I mean, he jumps high, very, very high. He got some explosive hand. He got some. He explodes. He just explodes up the field. Got good hands. He's going to be a problem for Jalen Johnson for the Bears. But yeah, I think Matthew Golden is going to be a real issue, and I'm really upset that the Packers got him. But uh, and then my third, uh, I want to say Shadeur Sanders. We can't use Shadeur Sanders because obviously everybody's going to pick him because he was drafted in like the 5th round. So that's going to be nothing but, you know, great. But there's so many good guys in the first round of the NFL. See, the NBA and the NFL draft were really good this year.
I agree.
Uh,
You can stay first round if you want. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna stay first round.
Okay.
I was thinking about Bears Luther Burden, even though he was in the second, but
You can pick him too. First, second round. I don't mind.
Omarion Hampton.
Come on, man. You pick mine. Pick my number one. I gotta change it now.
Yeah, Omarion Hampton. I mean, I wanted the Broncos to get him so bad, and we went with a defensive back.
You already know.
Like,
best back in the game next to Gentry, boy.
I mean, Javon Williams is good. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. He's a great back for us Broncos, but Omarion Hampton had everything. I mean, he had 1,000-yard season after contact.
Yep.
He had 1,000 yards after contact in the country, the third ranked in the country. So meaning he's going to bounce off tackles and he's getting 10 extra yards, like 14 extra yards.
Yeah.
And we're going to use with Javon Williams, who just had a problem with his knees. Go ahead.
My number one. You're gonna hate me for this, but I eat my words. I do. I think Loveland will have a great year on the Bears. I do. Colston Loveland. Now listen, hear me out. Colston Loveland with the Bears, with Caleb Williams, with Ben Johnson as your coach now. I think that offense is going to thrive. I think he's going to be great. He's a great pickup. I think you guys should have got Tyler Warren, obviously, because he's bigger, better, in my opinion. But Loveland, in the situation, like I would pick Tyler Warren if he had a quarterback, but Anthony Richardson is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. So I don't think you can pick him. And Daniel Jones is not much. Well, he's better, but
it's a QB battle out there in Indiana, which is insane. Makes no sense.
Daniel Jones is better, but that's not saying much. So I would pick Tyler Warren. Maybe he has who's the God? I always forget this guy's name. I don't know why. Who's the tight end that was really good this year on the Raiders? Jesus, I don't know why I always forget his name.
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers. I don't know why I forget his name. I just hate the Raiders, but
I just know that because that dude was balling, and I've seen so many touchdowns.
And he torched us a few times. But Brock Bowers, he could have.
Yeah,
Loveland could have
the Broncos too.
Yeah, with a quarterback. Actually, honestly, Tyler Warren could have a good year if Brock Bowers could have a good year without a quarterback. So I think Loveland with that situation, with the new system that you guys are bringing in, I think that he, as a route runner, as a catcher, as any of that stuff, even blocking, I don't think he's the best blocker, but he can. Coming from Michigan, he had to a lot, I bet. So I think Loveland will have a great year. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think that's a great pickup for you guys.
It's come up. I mean, it's definitely over the past few weeks, ever since the draft happened.
Yeah,
I've looked into it, and it's not a bad pick. But I obviously at the time I was just like, "What are we doing? Like, we could have literally grabbed Tyler Booker. You could have grabbed Michael Williams, like Jalen Walker." At the time, we wanted to like get at number 10, you wanted a star player,
right?
But I can see why they did it though, because of
the only thing I was worried about with him is his I think his shoulder was something.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But that's the only thing I was really worried about. But I think he's fine. My second pick is the new safety on the Ravens, Malachi Starks. I think that is a steal. I don't know how he dropped that far. That is ridiculous to me. He's played with the first team defense, I'm pretty sure, from first practice of the spring, and they haven't blinked at all. I've been keeping up on the first round rookies and second round rookies a lot, and obviously Shadir Sanders. But I've been keeping up with the top ones a lot. I'm going to try to transition to the third, fourth round picks as well because there's so many great players. But Malachi Starks is ridiculous. He's knocked apparently he's knocked away a lot of passes by breaking on the ball. His maturity should make him an immediate impact player. I think he's going to be. I think from what I've seen, I think he's going to be like a nickel. He's going to be kind of in and out. They're going to put him at nickel. They're going to try to put him, at corner sometimes. Maybe they put him at free safety. I think he's going to be mainly a strong safety. But I think that is probably the best situation for a rookie to go to as a defensive player is the Ravens, and Malachi Starks he's just what's up, Chris? I didn't see that.
Welcome
But
to the show, Chris Pittner.
Yeah, thank you. I'm on vacation right now actually, and all the cousins were just leaving to head back to their respective places, so I had to say goodbye to everybody before I hopped on. But
Okay, nice.
awesome. Where are you?
Love that you're doing
are
the
we
pod
talking
on vacay.
yeah, that's where I was. I wasn't able to make it on Tuesday. I was busy driving down to the spot.
Got you.
We love that you're on the pod on vacation. We love that. That's dedication right there. Love
We
it.
we're going over our top 3 rookies for NBA and NFL. You can do one if you want. You don't have to do both.
Okay.
If you want to do both, great. But I'm going over my
Okay.
my picks for NBA were who was it? It was Jeremiah Fears, the Yang guy that the Blazers got, the guy that got picked
Yang
out.
Hansen.
Yeah, and then my third one was Cam Jones, who went to the Pacers, which I thought was crazy. Jalen picked VJ, Ace Bailey, and Clayton Jr. for his NBA. And right now, who'd you pick for your NFL? You picked.
I picked Travis Hunter, Omarion Hampton, and who was the other one? Oh, Matthew Golden.
Yeah, Matthew Golden. Yeah.
Oh man, you took 2 of the guys I was gonna take.
He took
I'm
Omarion
telling
Hampton.
you, we think alike. Those players are going to be problems.
He took Omarion Hampton for me, but so my first NFL pick was Loveland, Colson Loveland. I think that's a great picker for the Bears. I just think Tyler Warren would have been better, but Tyler Warren's in a worse situation considering he has the worst quarterback on the planet and Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, who's better, but like that's not saying much in my opinion. So that's my first pick, and then my second pick is Malachi Starks. That's where he came in at. I just think he's in the perfect situation for a rookie, especially as a safety. You go to an all world defense for the Ravens, and you get to practice with those guys. And he's been practicing with the first team defense since spring. So I think that's going to be a crazy, role for him. I think he's going to be a nickel. I think he's going to be getting subbed out left and right. They're going to put him everywhere. Their defense is just ridiculous now. So I don't think there's much really stopping them on defense. It's just what can we do in the playoffs, man? What can they do? That's what I'm mostly worried about. But for my third pick, I think McMillan to the Panthers is a very sleeper pick. I don't know why no one's talking about this kid. He's insane to me. I don't know if anyone remembers last year when he was on Arizona, but I'm pretty sure one of the games he had like 400 yards, something crazy. I think that was him. That's what got him his draft stock. So like shot up. It was a crazy stat line he had in Arizona, and he's just ridiculous. I think Bryce Young's gonna have so much fun with him, on the field, and they'll probably have so much great chemistry right now with minicamp and coming up in the next few weeks. And McMillan, I think he's got to be like the third best wide receiver right now in the class, in my opinion, from draft wise. I won't say like on the field yet because we haven't seen it yet, but I think it goes Hunter, Golden, and McMillan for wide receiver. I think Hunter might be a better corner, but I think he's still a stout wide receiver. So, yeah, bro, I think McMillan's my third sleeper pick. Obviously, I would pick Omarion Hampton, but Jalen already picked them, so I just have backups. But yeah, those are my picks. It was Loveland, Starks, and McMillan. I think that those are crazy solid players that are going to make a difference for their team. Don't sleep on the Panthers.
That division is wide open for sure. I think for my first NFL pick, I'm more intrigued to see what this team does. It's going to be Jackson Dart with the Giants this year.
I was thinking about him,
They,
dude.
they
He was
got
nice.
such they got such a strange quarterback room right now with Russell Wilson being there now. I'm intrigued to see what they do, whether they try and phase Dart in through the season, whether Russ finishes it out, whether Dart is even ready for the league, because I think there's a lot of questions about that. Number two, I'm going to piggyback off Jalen. I'm just going to go through Matthew Golden really quick because I think the Packers got a steal with him at 23.
Yep,
I really
that's what I
thought the
was actually
Chargers were
just
actually
talking
going to
about.
I thought the Chargers were going to take him at 22.
We were so
I
close.
was nervous. I was
Damn.
nervous about that. Yeah, I was terrified of the Chargers picking him at 22. I really thought that's where they were going to go, but Omarion
Totally
Hampton was not a bad pick for them either.
Heck no.
And then for my final one, I'm just going to go with Ashton Genty. I think that Raiders team, their biggest weakness on offense last year, I mean, they were weak at a lot of different positions, but it was definitely the run game. They had next to no running game. And bringing in a record-breaking college running back, I think is going to help with that for sure. Jacoby Myers isn't a terrible wide receiver either. I think that team's going to be much improved with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll at the helm now too. And then moving over to NBA, I'm going to run through these really quick. I got Con Knipple as my first one just because Wisconsin kid. He's going into a tough situation down there in
I wouldn't say
Charlotte,
it's tough.
but
It makes it better.
they made a lot of moves this offseason. So it's going to be interesting to watch them because I feel like they could go two different ways. And there's a lot of different possibilities with that team, and they're really boom or bust this year. I feel like there's LaMelo Ball is obviously going to be there. How many games he plays, we don't know yet because he's can't stay on the floor. It's going to be that's always been a struggle for him. I'm actually really interested to see how Noah Asenge does for the Bulls this year because they had Derek Queen for the taking at 13. They must have really saw something in Asenge to be able to draft him in that spot, one spot ahead of Derek Queen, when I think their biggest need was at center with Vooch kind of just being there, not much of a defensive presence. Queen would have patched up a lot of holes on that team. That was definitely their biggest weak spot last year, was at center. And it felt like it was a slam dunk pick for them to go with Derek Queen at 12, and they didn't. So I was a little perplexed, and they must really see something in the young Frenchman that a lot of people don't. And then I guess for my third one, I'm also going to go with Derek Queen. I think the Pelicans got a lot better. Sorry, there is today must be garbage day down in the town that I'm in. But I think Derek Queen is going to be. I think that Pelicans team in general with Fears and Derek Queen really got better this offseason. And I think they're a sneaky good roster too. They have Zion still. They have Trey Murphy and Herb Jones and a couple other really good players. They got Jordan Poole, so who's going to be playing a bit more meaningful basketball than he's been playing in Washington this whole time. So I think that Pelicans team, if nothing else, they'll be fun to watch this year.
Solid, man. I love that Con Knipple pick because I don't think he's in a bad situation at all, I'll be honest. I think he's probably in the best situation he could be with. He doesn't have to run the ball up. He can just spot up shoot. He can literally be a Klay Thompson if he wants to. He doesn't have to run the ball up. He doesn't have to call the plays. He can just be motion, off ball, get open, off screen, off the wing, shoot, make it. I mean that's literally what I see him doing in Charlotte. I don't think they're going to be any serious anytime soon, considering they're just not a serious organization. But
I mean, the one thing I noticed watching Khan in pretty much every March Madness game, he's a really high IQ player. He knows how to find the open man. He moves the ball really well. He knows how to find the open guy. He can facilitate as well as score. So if he could be like a Klay Thompson type on offense who can also pass the ball really well, he could be a really scary player for Charlotte.
Right. I agree.
Well, NBA Summer League starts up tonight. Actually, it starts up at about a few hours from now. It starts up at 2:30 or 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So the first game tips off at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN2. So everybody go ahead and go get a quick look at the rookies that's going to be coming in for the next week, which will be something.